Hey guys, today we are going to talk about perpendicular lines, okay? So, more specifically, we're going to talk about perpendicular slope. But what I want you to see is that perpendicular lines are two lines that cross and form a right angle, okay? So, they make a perfect L, okay? That's perpendicular, that's not. These lines, not perpendicular. But for what we're doing, you don't necessarily need to know what they look like. What I want you to know is that perpendicular lines have opposite, reciprocal, slope. I'm sure you guys know what opposites are, okay? But this word reciprocal, what does that mean? So, for instance, if the slope of one line is 3/4, the opposite reciprocal of that, so the opposite of 3/4 would be -3/4. So we would do the opposite, so it's going to be negative, right? But the reciprocal means it's the flipped version of it. So we take that bottom number, we put it on top. We take that top number, we put it on the bottom. So the opposite reciprocal of 3/4 is 4/3. Okay? So if there was a line and it had a slope of 3/4, the line that would be perpendicular to that line would have a slope of -4/3. Also, so if I had 5, let's say the slope of one line is 5, okay? The opposite reciprocal of that would be -1/5. All right, let's talk more about that. Let's do more opposite reciprocals. So the opposite reciprocal of -1/3. What's the opposite reciprocal of -1/3? Well, it's negative, so the opposite of it is going to be positive. And then if I flip it, it's going to be 3/1. But 3/1 is 3. What if I want to do the opposite reciprocal of 2/5? Well, the opposite, this is positive, so the opposite's going to be negative. And if I flip it, it's going to be 5/2. So the opposite reciprocal of 2/5 is -5/2.